how it is proceeded. Hey everybody, it's Jesper. I thought I'd tell you a story my grandpappy used to tell me about a friend of his when he was a little kid named Charlie. Now Charlie was a really smart little boy, but he used to get himself in trouble. He didn't have much of an upbringing. So anyways, when Charlie was a little kid, he loved science. He used to make things and build things and put things together and mix them together and make all kinds of crazy potions and all that kind of stuff. Well, when he got a little bit older, he moved out to California, and there was a real bad drought out in San Diego. This was back in the early 1900s. So anyways, Charlie Hatfield, that was his name. Charlie went up, he got a great idea. He went over to the government and he said, hey you guys, I know how to make it rain. I'll mix some chemicals together and all the stuff will go up into the sky and the clouds and make water, fill them with water, and it'll rain down on us. And the government, of course, they didn't know much about science back then, so they seemed like they thought like it was a pretty good idea. So Charlie said, hey, I'll even tell you what, if it rains, you can pay me $10,000, and if it don't rain, then you don't have to pay me nothing. Now guess what, you know, $10,000 back then, that was a lot of money. Well, the government thought that was a good idea, and they shook hands on it, and Charlie went up to the reservoir, which was basically empty, and he sat there and he set up camp, and he mixed all his things together, and he made all these chemicals mixed together with little clouds, went up into the sky, and when people would come up, he put on quite a show for them. Well, you know, a week went by and Charlie was up there next to the reservoir, and you know what? All of a sudden it started to rain. It started not raining very hard at first, but that rained for a whole day, and then the second day it turned much harder, and it poured, and a storm came, and for 2 whole weeks it rained, and it rained so much that the reservoir filled up, and it broke the dam that was holding the water back and protecting San Diego, and the water went down and rushed all over San Diego, and it destroyed a lot of houses, and it destroyed a lot of farms and people's lives, you know. And so anyway, it rained real good. So Charlie went down to the government. He said, hey, you know, I'm here to collect my money. Give me my $10,000. I made it rain. And the government said, you cost more money in destruction than you did in making it rain. Charlie, we're not going to pay you. And Charlie said, you got to pay me. I don't understand. Well, one thing led to another. Government never ended up paying them. But Charlie went on to another place down, you know, another country, and tried to pull another one of his shenanigans. But I just thought that was a really good story, because you never know. People never know to this day whether Charlie really made it rain. You know, maybe he put something up in the clouds and made it come down the water. Or was it just coincidence? Or maybe because he liked science so much, he was just like one of the guys, a weatherman from way back then, and people couldn't tell. They couldn't forecast the weather very much, but maybe Charlie knew how, and maybe he just knew there's a storm coming. My daddy always told me, and my grandpappy, I bet my grandpappy told my daddy, but they always said that when the leaves turn over, you can tell it's going to rain, and when you see the bottom of the leaves. And for the most part, I found that that's very true. So anyway, that's just a good story I thought about. Charlie Hatfield, good friend of my Grand Pappy's from when he was a little kid. And what kind of a con man, I don't know. Maybe he was just really smart, and then they didn't pay him. It's just a good story. I wish there was better moral, but there's not. It's just a story. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. See you.